The Sims has been one of the most popular life simulation games since its launch in February 2000. It's been entertaining players for over 2 decades. When The Sims 1 came out, the gameplay was groundbreaking, allowing players to create and control simulated characters or Sims as they navigated through daily life activities such as building a house, developing relationships, and pursuing careers. The game's open-ended gameplay and endless possibilities for customization captured the hearts of players worldwide. With the launch of Sims 5 officially confirmed as Project Rene, let's ask ourselves, what changes or additions would players like to see in the future of the Sims franchise? Firstly, a lot of people are saying that Seasons should be introduced with the base game. Seasons was introduced as the 5th expansion to Sims 2, containing more than 125 new items, new gameplay options, and obviously weather. The expansion was a huge hit, however as time passed, many players now believe that Seasons should rightfully be part of the base game. In the latest update from The Sims, they've said there will be potentially 3 things that are included in the core gameplay for everyone, and they've used Seasons as an example, saying that packs in DLC would focus more around an activity like building a snowman, for example. While it's really good to hear this, I do wonder if they're going to limit certain activities to packs and DLC, so you have no option but to buy them in order to get the full experience, which is a problem that Sims 4 has now. It's too early to tell at this stage, but it does sound like we may be getting something a little bit similar to Sims 4. I hope this isn't the case, but we'll have to just wait and see. Secondly, all life stages should be included in the base game. So since 2014, fans of The Sims 4 were outraged when it was announced that the toddler life stage was getting removed completely from the game. For understandable reasons, this wasn't well received by players, as a lot was removed for the base game, and that led to EA adding this then as a patch later on. But it took them a little while to get there. Players, and including myself, are really hoping for The Sims 5 we will have all life stages included from day one. Next, we've got creating worlds from scratch. The ability to create your own worlds was a feature in only 2 Sims games. Players had the opportunity to lovingly craft any world they choose. So in Sims 3, I've got a lot of good memories from going on the exchange and looking at different worlds people had created. So some people would create an entirely pirate world, some people have created, a little suburban world. But my personal favourite was an apocalyptic nightmare, which basically had no houses, you had to survive, you had to forage for your own food. It was absolutely fantastic and really well done. So you could basically go from that to a perfect neighborhood, and it gave you the freedom to create any kind of world you wanted to, and it's a really great addition, which sadly didn't make it to Sims 4. It feels very medical, very fixed, and it doesn't really give you the freedom that you have had with previous games, which is a little bit disappointing. There's a lot of people on Reddit that are asking for this, and it's quite a big request from fans. Therefore, I'm going to remain hopeful that this is something that we can look forward to for Sims 5. Next is something that's personally on my list, which I was really disappointed about with Sims 4, and that is burglars. Bring back burglars. Do I really need to explain much with this one? Burglars were removed from Sims 4, much to the horror of players who had been avid fans of burglars for many years. And while this is really disappointing for Sims 4, I'm really hoping that Sims 5 will reintroduce this. There is no fear greater than having to hear this music just as your Sims have gone to sleep. Whatever the reason they took them away, I would really love to see this introduced back. So please, EA, listen to your fans and bring back burglars. While they were a small part of the game, they really were missed. Next is the option to adjust a Sim's height. So height is an integral part of someone's identity. In everyday life, it makes people stand out, it can evoke feelings of uniqueness, whether you're tall or a little bit short. And in Sims 4, players can use sliders to customise their Sim's muscle mass and body sculpting, but the game lacks a height adjustment feature. And many players have expressed their desire for this feature to return, to further enhance their Sims' individuality and make their gaming experience more immersive. I really agree with this. I'm not too sure what the mechanics would be like in order to bring in a slider for height. However, you can see this with other games where they've introduced a height difference. Baldur's Gate 3, for example, which won Game of the Year, well done guys, managed to have different height preferences. and they're still working on patches for that. So it meant that whatever character you wanted to create, it was truly immersive because you weren't held back by anything. You had the complete freedom to have a tall or a short character, depending on your playthrough. So I'm hoping that this is something that they are looking at. Memories and wants is another one. So you can use mods to add this gameplay feature back in right now. Players could cycle through these memories and relive times when Melissa had a bad memory of burning a grilled cheese, for example. It was loved among the community as a feature, and it would really be welcomed back in Sims 5. The game feels a little bit empty without it, to be honest. If you don't have these things that your sim kind of remembers in their life, it can make it seem like it's very linear. It's nice to have a sim kind of look back, or for a player to look back on a sim's life and see everything that they've achieved, everything that they sort of went through, and sort of really live through that with them, because it's personal to each person, and I think this would be a really good addition to the next game. Number 8 is something I'm really passionate about, and that is moddable content. So moddable content will be around forever, and it's something that players are really passionate about. Let's look at Skyrim, for example. It wouldn't be the same game, and it wouldn't have gone on as long as it had done if we didn't have a really great modding community behind it. But unfortunately, this is something that seems to have been removed by Sims 4, and as something that's seen as very negative by EA. Moddable content isn't something that should be seen as a negative. To me, it seems like it's passion in the community, it's people who want to bring more to the game that they love, and sometimes you can't always rely on a stuff pack or a DLC to do that for you. So I would really love to see this introduced in Sims 5. EA may want to really consider this and think about the community of people who are actually supporting their game. There is another simulation game called Life by You, which actually is doing the opposite of what EA are doing at the moment. They are looking at the community behind simulation games, and they're making it as easy as possible to mod things. Whether you want to personalise things like a recipe or your traits, they're allowing you to do that through the gameplay, and they're building that into the core feature of the game itself. So this is something that's really important, and I really think that EA need to listen to their community before actually going ahead and trying to limit the amount of mods that people will create for this, because they're going to be made regardless. You might as well embrace it and accept the fact that so many people love this franchise and this game that they're prepared to work on it and create additional things for you. So let's just hope that they embrace this a little bit better than they have in previous games. The last one on my list is something I'm sure we can all agree with. It's less microtransactions. So Sims 5 has been announced as something that's free to play, and unfortunately this might be a consequence of having something that you're able to play across platforms with people, because it's also online. They have confirmed in their latest update that there will be paid DLC and packs, which I'm pretty sure does relate to microtransactions as well. It's something that has lost a lot of trust in the community, to be honest. The amount of stuff packs and DLC that could have easily been rolled into one or barely contain any content is just absolutely astounding. And there has been a lot of loud activity around this. Players aren't happy with it. I hope EA are listening, and I hope that with Sims 5 that they really do learn that people don't want to be paying thousands of pounds for a game. There is a certain amount of content that I believe should be included in the core game. While I understand that the company needs to make money, they also need to understand that there is an expectation with players, and there is a lot more competition out there, particularly with new simulation games coming out in 2024 and 2025. So while I think there will be microtransactions and there will be DLC and stuff packs, let's hope that they are packed full of content and EA have learnt their lesson from Sims 4. So as of now, there's been no official announcement regarding the release of Sims 5, and EA haven't shared any specific details regarding the game's development. However, they have confirmed that The Sims 4 will continue to receive updates and new content in the meantime. So, my overall thoughts of this. So, I'll be completely honest. I still go back to Sims 3, and if Sims 2 was available on Origin, I'd be playing that as well. The amount of content and care just cannot compare to Sims 4, and I refuse to pay the ridiculous amount of money that they now charge for packs and DLC. So, while I would love to say I'm excited about Sims 5 and Project Rene, with what I keep seeing from Sims 4, I'm not convinced, and I think until it comes out, I'm going to need a lot more information before I make the decision to purchase it. I really hope EA listen to their community, they listen to their audience, and they give players the game that they've been asking for many years. Either way, I'm going to say cautiously optimistic about it and hope that Sims 5 maybe goes back to Sims 2, has a little bit of the quirks and the silliness that we've come to love with it, and also has an expectation that the core gameplay will include a lot more than Sims 4 did when it first came out. So what kind of features are you looking for in Sims 5? Let me know, leave me a comment, and obviously give me a like for support and subscribe for more information on Sims 5 as it comes along. Let me know how you're feeling about it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.